Hey, Coach. How much does Anthony Costanzo's availability on Sunday affect the game plan? How much did it affect it last weekend?
Yeah, I think that when you have a player like Anthony, who's obviously one of the top guys in the NFL at his position, not having him in the game, you definitely have to plan for that. And also the type of caliber of rusher that 95 is and was against us last week. We're accounting for that as well. So when you lose a good player like Anthony, you always got to account for it. I mean, so it didn't affect how we called it. It just it took us some more time to plan it and to talk through it and to talk through the variations of it. All great conversations, and we felt like we were able to give help to both sides both sides for the tackles.
Mike Chappell.
Nick, just from the untrained eye, you said that the passing offense goes through T.Y., and it appears you still haven't got him where you want him to be. Is that fair or not? Or do you feel like it's there and we just don't see it?
Yeah, that's a fair question, Mike. We threw it to him 10 times, I believe, 10 times on Sunday. So it's not always just going to be the explosive play to T.Y. T.Y. just does a lot of different things well. Like, yes, he's been known as being able to make. Sorry, there's something just popped up on the screen. Hold on. All right, sorry about that. He's been known to make explosive plays in his career, but what goes on sometimes, I feel like, goes unnoticed with T.Y. is the craftiness and the just the feel and of where to find holes in zone and sit in zone, like the first play of the game. So, we're always planning to get it to him. Again, we're going to try to take what the defense gives us, and some things might be called for T.Y. and they might not go to him based off of what the defense. We're just not going to force feed it if the defense is taking it away because we're confident in our other guys as well. And then there's also been, he's gained some. We've talked about this quite often in our offensive staff meetings. That T.Y. is drawing some pass interference calls too, and that's not, as a wide receiver, as a spectator, you look at that. Those don't count for your total yards when the game's done. But we know we sure as heck, and when we get a pass interference that gets us 40 yards, we sure as heck account for it. That's like an explosive play to us. And so I think we're trying to get T.Y. the ball, and we're still planning for him. And again, I thought Sunday was probably his best game of the year to date, and we'll just continue to do what we do to try to get him the football.
Is that Kiefer?
Nick, from my end, it doesn't feel like the offensive line has been as dominant. And I realize you were without one of your best players on Sunday, but Frank always says we want to run it when we want to run it. We want to pass it when we want to pass it. I haven't seen that. Has the offensive line taken a step back this season?
Yeah, I don't believe so, Zach. I think Sunday's game was a little bit different circumstances as far as we kind of got ourselves in a hole. We did get running the football. I thought there was a couple things that we did on some of our schemes on Sunday were as good as we blocked some things all year. So I really thought, and just the way the way the game went. Sure, we'd like to get more runs called, and but the way the game went and the hole that we were in, and the amount of plays we had in the first half, I just don't think that it played itself out that way. But there were definitely some things that in the run game that I saw us take steps. I thought Jonathan Taylor had played his best game of the year also last week, and like I said, some of these zone run schemes that we had on Sunday were really effective. So it's just like every position. I think we're just all continuing to get better. The offensive line's no exception. They didn't have the preseason either, and they're just continuing to get better, play the games, and continue to get better. So I think they're definitely on the rise of and playing a little bit better each week. And I'm not concerned about their play.
Joel Erickson.
Did Mo Alie-Cox's injury play a role in how many snaps he got on Sunday? And even when he's healthy, do you guys need to do a better job of getting him and Jack involved now that Trey's back?
Yeah, I think we have to get all three of them involved. They're all important parts of this offense. They all have different unique abilities to be able to make plays and to be able to excel at different things. And so it's always a plan to get them the football. Again, like I said, not you may have a plan to get Mo the football or Jack or Trey, whoever that may be. And the defense may not allow that to happen. They may take that away, and we got to be smart, and we got to, it's a fine line. We have to be able to get our playmakers the football. And so, yeah, we needed to get the ball more to Mo last week than we did. But then again, when the defense takes things away, you have to react and throw it to the open guy or to where the read is taking you.
Ken Bowen.
Nick, I know it's been a while since LaRaven has played really meaningful snaps for you guys. How do you think he graded out, given quite the challenge?
Yeah, quite the challenge. That guy, that defensive end, Myles Garrett, is no doubt in my mind one of the best players in the NFL. And I say players, I mean both sides of the football. So under the circumstances on the road against a good football team, against an elite pass rusher, maybe the best pass rusher in the NFL, I thought LaRaven held his own, and he played winning football for us. And so I was pleased with LaRaven. I was pleased with LaRaven's performance.
Then just one quick follow-up, Nick. It looked like on your visor, maybe I was seeing things, you had 15 and 25 on there on Sunday. Have you been doing that, and why? I guess just kind of explain that.
That's a good question. I just, when I went through I know you guys know about my leg injury. When I went through my leg injury, my head coach, Larry Karras, was just awesome to me as far as letting me know, that I'd be missed, letting me know that I was important to the team and I was important to him. And I'll never forget that. I'll never forget Larry Karras, what he did for me then, and really just made me feel important. Even though at that time I was feeling down and probably feeling sorry for myself and, really wanting to be there and being part of the team. Those two guys are still part of the team. I want them to be there with us. And that's my way to, my brother, I remember my brother Mike, when I was injured, he was coaching. He's a football coach as well. And he's a head coach at Washington Jefferson College. And he wore my number, that same area. And I remember seeing a picture of him, and I thought, and that meant a lot to me as well. Cause it just reiterated that these guys cared about me, and then I was still part of the team, and I was still part of, so that's just a personal thing that I went through. And if that's I know we all know how important 25 and 15 were to getting us to where we are right now and being the team that we are right now. And if that's just a really small, appreciation thing that I can do that I feel like meant a lot to me, and hopefully that means a lot to them as well.
George Brewer.
Coach, last year before the injury, it seemed like T.Y. was maybe more involved in the red zone than maybe at any point in his career. This year, you haven't seen it happen as much. Are defenses focusing on that, or is it just something that hasn't clicked yet?
Yeah, it's the same there for T.Y. as we were last year. We're still planning for him. We still want him to get the football, and in the red zones, no exception. It's the same plan down there. We're scheming for all sorts of different guys down there. Yes, but we know we're still always trying to get T.Y. the football, even in the red zone. It just hasn't happened yet, and we have to be better. We have to be better coaching it, and putting our guys in better positions to make plays, and then we need to be better executing. And we do it all together, and we do it all as a team. And so, it starts with us as coaches to put them in better positions and to get that part of the game going.
We'll do three more. Jim Aiello.
Hey Nick, is it fair maybe to say that there's like a little extra or more pressure on getting the play call right with a guy like Phillip versus maybe a mobile quarterback who has like more escapability and ability to create after the play?
Yeah, I would say we're always obviously right. We are always going to want to get the play call right to get it perfect against this look or perfect against that look. Obviously, their coaches get paid too. Their coaches put time into. Their players get paid, and they put the time in as well. So it's not always going to be perfect, and we know that. And so, different guys escape pressure differently. Phillips is more movement in the pocket to buy time to throw down the field, or movement in the pocket to find his back. Whereas some guys is movement in the pocket to scramble. So it's just I don't having different styles of quarterbacks. I don't feel that because I know he's got different ways to get the football out of his hands than other guys, and vice versa. So that's a good question. I believe that he's really solid in the pocket, moving and finding his back in his check down.
Zach Kiefer.
Nick, Phillip has struggled the last couple of weeks. We've seen it. When you watch the tape, what do you see?
Yeah, I've seen him, play good football, in those early weeks, and game 2, game 3, game 4, even he did, and I'd say last game was his rough game against the Bears. I mean, he did what he had to do to help win us that football game. So I can't agree with you on 2 weeks of the last couple of weeks, but he knows this last week that he just got to do a better job taking care of football. And that's the nature of his position too, that he gets a lot of when he turns it over, he's getting a lot of the blame. And when he helps us win the game, he's getting a lot of the praise, and that's just that position. That's that quarterback position. But we all need to get better. We need to help him be in better position. Like it starts again. It starts with us as coaches, just getting the guys in better positions to help them make plays. And then, Phillip, as he'll tell you, he's got to make the right read and not force the ball, and not turn it over. And then the receivers are going to tell you they got to help them get open and find the areas in the zone and beat press man to man. And the offensive line is going to tell you they got to protect a hair longer or better. So it's never, to me, we know that Phillip wants if he's going to want a couple of those throws back for sure. But again, it's all of us together have to get better, all right, for the product to be what we want it to be.
And last question, Mike Chappell.
Nick, after the game, Phillip was asked about red zone and third down. He said, "Hey, if we had the answers, we'd fix it." I mean, are you guys just sort of, I don't want to say reaching or trying to figure out things out, but those are issues. And is it fair to say that until you get those fixed, this offense is just going to be what it is?
Yeah, there's no question. We want to be better in those areas, and we need to be better in those areas, because that's the third downs, the things that continue drives, and red zone's the difference between 4-point plays. And we got to be able to start scoring touchdowns in the red zone. We're getting down there, and we're making our kicker work way too much down there for 3-point plays instead of 1-point plays. So we just have to get down. When we get down there, we just have to find ways to finish. Again, I really believe that. I know it starts with us as coaches, getting them in the right positions, and then it's just execution. Where we got to be able to run the football down there. We got to be able to pass the football down there. We got to be able to get us as coaches got to be able to get them in the right position. And it's just that's why this is such a great team sport, right? It's not only do you coincide with the offense and the defense, you coincide with the coaches. It's just such a phenomenal team sport because it takes everybody. It really does. It takes everybody, all right, on the same page. And there's no doubt we need to be better in the red zone and third down. I'm confident that we can get there. I'm confident in, our players and our offensive line and our skill position and our quarterback that we can get to where we need to get, because we know that if we ultimately want to be where we want to be, and within the next couple of weeks and moving forward, that we're going to have to fix those areas, because that's how we're going to have to beat good teams coming up. Browns were a good team. We didn't execute in that area, and ultimately that really hurt us.